On TV, radio, such, there's a religious leader that says, let's burn the Koran. What do you think about that?
So the second
The question was, if some religious leader says, let's burn the Koran. I don't need to burn the Koran. I need to assert Israel. I believe that that's going to be 10 times better than burning the Quran. I believe that Islam has two modes, jihad and pragmatism. And this is from my wide experience with Arabs. I grew up with Arabs in Haifa. I was very close to them. Their culture does not, I don't hate the culture. In fact, I kind of like it when they have Allah, I go, Shema, Yisrael. You know, we're cousins. We're part of the same religion.
Who's the expert? Did it just turn down? Oh, who was it?
Work again?
I think she's out of battery. In any case, you hear me. What about my throat? Huh? All right.
Is there a charger?
In any case, I believe that a strong Israel is 10 times better than any burnings. We need to assert our rights to Israel. We need to say we're never moving. Never will you ever get a chunk of our land. Don't start with us. I think we made a big mistake with Ahmadinejad, is that we didn't strike at him much earlier. If somebody gets up to speak against Israel, wants to destroy Israel, you've got to make it clear. We don't allow that kind of thing. We've already been through that cycle. That ended up with 6 million dead. We're not allowing this thing. And you strike at a problem before it gets big. You see a big zit coming on, you got to pop it. Okay? Boom! You don't allow people to talk that way about Israel. And that will do much better than burn the Quran. I'm not into the book burn. I've experienced that plenty. I don't need to do that. I just need to assert my right. And when Islam will see that Israel isn't moving, you'll see that they'll turn much more practical into the area.
Our Semitic cousins, the Arabs, are implacable, and an attack on Iran, I think the clock is ticking. I think it's got to happen. I predict Israel will take out the nukes. I hope that the United States Air Force and Saudis and others facilitate and help with that.
I cannot comment on Israel's military readiness, but what I can tell you is that I personally believe that we should just strike at the head first. I think the bad guy that calls you out, you got to call him out. That's what David did. David went against Goliath. Goliath called him out and said, you call me out, I'm going to strike against you. Yeah. Your life should be in danger. I think every Iranian leader should feel that his life is in danger. But certainly I want to tell you that it's not only about our survival, it's also about justice in the Middle East. My poor Iranian and Persian cousins who were always friendly to Israel and who continue to listen to Israel as their number one news source with Persian radio that we broadcast around, they hate their regime. They hate it. They've been subjugated by it. And I really think that it's not an issue of just protecting myself, but also helping those folks get out from the thumb of oppression. So I think hit the head first, and then we'll see what happens the next day. We have to keep going. We'll keep going. Yes, Mr. Kutz.
This is sort of a two-header. One is, are you seeing a shift in the Jewish community away from Obama? Previously supported him, and also, can we trust Bibi on Jerusalem?
I think you cannot trust Bibi. I think Bibi's a very good-hearted person. He's got a good heart, golden tongue, but a weak spine. That's the bottom line with Bibi, and I'm sad to say it because I think he's a man with great potential. But I think the American default love with Bibi, because he speaks your language, is a bit shallow. And again, a lot of folks, you meet them like, I love Bibi. Why do you love Bibi? Because he's the first prime minister to agree to a Palestinian state. He's the first prime minister who's frozen Jerusalem building and Judean Samaria. He's a good man, but he has made big mistakes, and we're very disappointed. And he was not elected on this platform. He was elected on a nationalistic platform. So I think that Bibi needs to have more accountability and transparency. That's why I'm always calling for American Jews to make Aliyah, to come home, to be part of it, because I think we need more of that consciousness of transparency, accountability, and pride and patriotism, which is also lacking in Israel. What was your other question?
Well, whether you see a shift away from Obama from Bibi.
In Israel or in America?
Bob, repeat that.
He says, is there a shift away from Obama?
Thank you.
Hey.
Rahman. Okay. That's better. I think that it's clearly evident that within the Democratic Party there's a shift away from by Jews and by non-Jews about Israel. So it's not such a stretch to say that American Jews are moving away from Obama, because in his own party. So we've met together, we met Representative Eli Neustadt in Austin, Texas, in the Texas State House over there, who was a Democrat and clearly was against the Obama policies. We met Joe Biden out in Brooklyn. He's a state assemblyman. He's a Democrat. He's highly against the Obama policies. I don't want to talk against Obama. I'm not an American. I am an American citizen. This is not my country, and I think that's up to you guys to decide your American policy. But I think it's clear that the policies are problematic. I think that the latest news is that sales have been announced of almost $60 billion of arms to the Middle East, folks, all to Arab countries. We're talking about Saudi Arabia, 30 bill, and the rest of the Emirates and Gulf states. So, there's some dirty stuff that needs to stop. I personally prefer the Obama that treated Netanyahu badly than the Obama that treated Netanyahu nicely, because I like the truth. I prefer the truth. I prefer, we Jews, we are so skin deep. Just give us a pat on the back. Give us a kiss on the cheek. Treat us nice. You can stab the knife deep in our back. I prefer the guy who people are like, whoa, this guy really doesn't like Israel. And I prefer that a lot. And I think that the Obama thing is going to play itself out here in America. But for me, I don't really care, because I don't think the Obama policies are way different than the Bush policies. And when I'm in Texas, they say, but Bush was a good man, right? And I say, no. Hold on a second. And I say, no, he was not. He was a guy with Saudis, and he sold the $25 billion in arms. He is allowed a gateway for Saudis to buy up whole campuses here and to send chairs into universities to brainwash our kids. He was a president that was a pro-Palestinian state and went over to Ramallah to announce it. So no, I'm not a right-wing or an American, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm looking for policies. He didn't move them back to Jerusalem. So I don't think that as people who love Israel and love America, we should focus too much on the cult of personality, on the dude, on the one guy. I think this is something that is endemic. I think there's a State Department that has been anti-Israel from the get-go. I think there's money interests that are way bigger than do you like Israel or not? Bush liked Israel. He liked money and oil money more. Okay? I dare say he was more comfortable playing golf with Saudi than praying in the Western Wall, even though he had a heart for Israel. But he had a heart for black gold as well. And therefore, I say, let's judge policies and become a little more sophisticated and not get into what Rush or other people are going to have us just focus in on this guy's a bad guy, because I want a candidate on their side that's going to be a better guy than this one. Hold on a second. I've let you two gentlemen. I want somebody else to do it. Did you ask? Yes, sir. Wait, you asked the question. Hold on. What about the ladies?
Yeah.
Hold on. Come on, ladies. Come on. I know you got a question. These guys want to get into a private conversation. Come on. Let's ask. Ladies, anything. We talk about milk in Israel. We talk about nice things. We don't have to talk about the big political things. There's also the good life.
Why do baby strollers cost so much in Israel?
Why do babies? Because of the high taxes that needs to be put down. Good, thanks. Come on. Shut up. You leave me. Thank you. Please, anything about life. No, you already had it.
Maybe they'd like to see the slides.
You didn't ask the question. I asked you. Okay, fair enough. Here's my question.
It might be a ploy, but I've heard a story that Obama and BBSOO are in cahoots to do this so that they can win over the Arabs, believe it or not, so that when he goes after Ahmadinejad, they'll have that whole force. Now, I don't know whether that's...
Let me say it in a more political science kind of way than you just said. What you basically said is